Okay, it's recorded.
Yes, sir.
So
Guess so.
so pretty much here we are. We're on the second video installment of the TTS YouTube page, and we are talking about what it's like working in the fleet world. And we got Antonio, Kentucky, and one mechanic here, as well as myself. And we're basically going to be giving our perspective on what it's like. So why don't we start off with Antonio? Where do you work? What type of fleet is it?
Well, I work for a Kenwood dealership. Tell
Okay.
by the cap right there. I work for a Kenwood dealership here in Texas, and predominantly we work on Peterbilts and Kenworths, pack cars, Cummins, and we pretty much do it all from electrical to engine work, brakes, everything, man, everything you can think about. So
Okay.
that's currently what we're working at, man. Yes, sir.
And what about you, Kentucky?
I work for a large fleet shop. Pretty much everything I work on is Freightliner. With the Detroit, we do have some Cummins, some Volvos, some Internationals. But I mean, it's pretty well Cummins or Detroit in a Freightliner.
Okay. Do you guys do everything there? You full service?
Yep,
Brakes, suspension, steering, engines, transmissions.
everything.
Okay. And what about you, Dave? AKA one mechanic.
One mechanic. I work for a municipality, and I work in everything from zero turns to pickup trucks to cars to dump trucks, which are mostly internationals. We do have some Freightliners, to off-road equipment like front-end loaders, excavators, a little bit of everything. We do everything except for we don't do engine or transmission rebuilds. We don't get that far into it, but
That's
we
just
do everything
total.
else.
You guys, is a lot of your stuff's out of warranty, right?
Well, the international, because we buy so much from them, we actually do warranty work on the trucks, and we have an extended warranty over somebody who bought them from a dealership. So we do a lot of our own warranty on the internationals.
Cool.
So
All right. Myself, I work in public transportation, so basically buses that transport people. And we do have cars and stuff like that in the fleet. We're a 100% natural gas fleet, so even our cars are natural gas, which are starting to transfer over to electric. We have a good, I think, like 15 electric cars right now, which are those are under warranty, so we really don't touch those. We kind of just do like the tires and brakes and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, we're working on the buses. Those are a revenue maker for the fleet, but a lot of our funding comes from government funds. So pretty much that's our priority is the buses.
cool.
Yeah. Anything anybody want to add to theirs before we move on?
Can't believe you work on CNG.
Yeah,
Disappointed.
I've actually worked on it all. I mean, I've worked on diesel. I've worked on propane. Yeah, pretty much you name it.
I think there were where I work at the dealership. We have two techs that are certified to work on CNG and hybrids. We get some of those that come in every once in a while, and there's only two techs that are allowed to touch those trucks.
Yeah. So the fleet I came from before I'm at where I'm at now, we had hybrids, and
Okay.
only a few of us were actually trained on that. I never actually
Yeah.
got to really get in depth on them, just basically the service on them. But I did take like a full overhaul class and even like a rebuild class for the circuitry and the battery source and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right.
like
Okay.
a squirrel.
I just want.
That's that ADD kicking in, huh?
no,
Okay.
man, I was writing some notes, man. I'm sorry.
No,
Stuff
that's
that
all
popped
good.
into my head right now. Some
Uh,
stuff that popped into my head right now.
the more notes, the better, because in moments like that, you gotta kind of come up with something. So,
Yeah, right. If not, we're gonna have those awkward silences, right? Like,
yeah.
so what are we talking about now?
Or you just see my mouth moving, but you don't hear anything coming out. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was pros and cons, and we'll kind of go down the list and kind of go individually for that. So
All right.
once again, this time we'll do it backwards. We'll start off with one mechanic. Why don't you give us your pros and cons?
So, in my opinion, the pros are the fact that I worked on so much different stuff. Because I get bored very easily working on the same thing over and over. So right now I'm working on a bucket truck. I was working on a light plant the other day. I mean, it's all different.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not always in the garage. I have to go out and work on the road or in the field to repair or to do maintenance on something. And I like that aspect too, that I'm not stuck in the garage all the time.
I'm the same way. I feel the same way as you.
Yeah, get
I
me
get
out
antsy.
sometimes.
Yeah, so sometimes
Yeah,
I'm waiting for a road call to happen just so I could get out of the shop for a bit.
and there's always a convenience store between here and there. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, we're not allowed to do that, but it would be nice if we could.
Yeah, got to
I
stay
got
hydrated.
I got a road call the other day. It was last week, and it was right in front of a Carl's Jr., which I think is like Hardee's where you guys live or whatever.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like literally right in front, and it was about dinner time, and you could just like smell the burgers. And I'm there working, and I'm just like, fuck, what if I just go in there real quick and grab a burger?
Hey, what Mama don't know won't hurt her, right?
Yeah, but there's working in public transportation, there's so much eyes around the city. We constantly have a group of supervisors that drive around in those cars, and they're just basically they're monitoring whether the people are stopping at their stops on time. They're
Oh, okay.
they're abiding by the rules of the road, so they're constantly driving around. So you'll be driving around town and you'll see a supervisor and you just kind of wave at them. So the odds of getting caught are pretty high.
Okay. That
yeah.
sucks.
We don't
Yeah.
have that too much. We just have the public eye in our defense.
Yeah.
So one of the cons is tools. So you buy, say, an international truck, which you have a lot of, which are mostly metric these days, but the upfitters are standard. So you have to have a full set of both standard and metric to work on the equipment. So that's one of the cons to my wallet anyway. It's a con.
No,
But I mean, I like tools anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But
I got a quick question for you. I'm going to cut you off, but kind of relates to your topic there. Do you guys get a yearly tool allowance?
No,
currently we do.
Okay.
we don't.
No. What about you,
Nope.
Kentucky?
Nope.
Okay, so
I would just have to say the only allowance I have is the one that my wife lets me spend. That's pretty much it, man. I'm only allowed to spend a certain amount a year. So
They give me a paycheck every week. That's where my tool allowance comes from.
yeah, I'm same way here.
We're a union, and every 3 years it changes with the new contract. So I mean, I don't know what it is. I know it is for this contract, but next year it could be no tool allowance.
nah.
We don't know.
Also, so it fluctuates for you guys.
Do what?
Like it fluctuates, so it could go like either up or down each year, right? That's per year, is what you're saying.
Every 3 years between the contracts.
Oh, every 3 years. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
So we have to pay for our uniforms, and they give us a big whopping $150 for uniforms every year. They do buy our boots,
What about
our
laundry
work
service?
boots. So
Do they do laundry service for you guys? Do they launder them, or do you have to wash them yourself?
no, do it ourselves.
That's
Yeah.
It's a trip.
My dealership, they do give us what you call it? Sorry, checking out a text message. They do give us uniforms. So they pay for our uniforms. They do the laundry, and they do give us a boot allowance.
That's good.
I think it's not too. I mean, it's decent. It's decent. It's like $100 boot allowance a year, and you get to use it well, obviously once a year.
Right.
So they do that. And the other things that our dealership does is they do supply the specialty tools.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kentucky's quiet. You guys don't get boots either, or what?
No, we get $100 for boots every year,
Okay, that's
once
good.
once a year, and
Yeah.
we get uniforms. They pay for the laundry service and all that. So
I had this picture in my head of how Kentucky works, and I just pictured a Pakistani truck environment and him working in flip flops.
In a robe.
Yeah.
there's some times in August where I wouldn't mind wearing a robe. You got any other cons, Dave?
No, not really. Just something that some people aren't used to is that we order our own parts. We look up our own parts. So we have shelves full of manuals and, of course, online and stuff like that. Where I know a lot of places have their own parts department, but we really don't. We have to find our own parts. So part of our day is spending, besides doing work orders, finding parts. I'm not really sure if it's a pro or a con. Depends on how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay to go inside and sit in the air conditioning for 15 minutes looking at parts. I'm personally okay with that, but some people, they just want to keep working, so it's up, to the individual.
Yeah.
But that's about what I have, yeah.
Okay, cool. So for me, one of the pros of working at a fleet shop is there's more room to advance and learn faster because a lot of our stuff is newer. So I'm learning about the new problems as long as and some of the older ones. So I'm able to grow my skill set faster. How do I want to word it? If you're newer, it's pretty good just because you come in, you're going to work on a lot of the same stuff a lot of the time. So you're able to learn that, you're able to master that, you're able to move on to something else faster. I don't have to worry about getting approval for, hey, this thing needs an EGR cooler. Okay, put an EGR cooler on it. Whereas shop guys, they got to write an estimate. They got to take it to the service writer. They have to get approval. And then they can order their parts or go to the parts counter and get them. So I get to bypass that step. That's pretty nice. Our fleet, the company I work for, pays for OEM software. So I have Diagnostic Link, I have Insight, Isuzu, I have Diamond Logic Builder, or whichever one the international is. The latest Ned. I'm not very good at using it. I don't work on many internationals. So I have access to all the OEM training, the OEM software. That's pretty nice. A con, if I want to go somewhere else, I have to learn all that stuff I don't have to do now. The work orders, getting approval. I have to learn to slow myself down because I put $1,500 worth of work into a truck and the customer says no, then I'm in hot water. Mm-hmm. What about you, Antonio?
But now that you said that, man, it just brought an idea to my head about that. What you're saying about the approvals and stuff like that. It's not as difficult as it may seem. You know what I'm saying? Especially whenever cause like the way that they do that here at the dealership is that when the truck comes in, pretty much they've allowed me, or obviously all it takes, right? But they pretty much like my shop foreman has told me is like, get this truck and make sure you put about not make sure, but put about 2 hours into it to diag. If that time is gonna exceed those 2 hours, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Come to me, then we'll get approval if you need it to keep diagging it. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll talk to the customer, so that way you won't put 4 or 6 hours. As an example, like a truck that's going to become a nightmare or something, man. You put 4 or 6 hours, and then you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and it becomes like you said, like a hot mess. So that's the way I was directed with my shop foreman. Now my shop foreman is like he's really cool, man. So with that being said, I mean he does a really good job as far as that. So whenever I start diagging the truck, if it's customer pay, now if it's warranty, spend the time that you need to spend. You know what I'm saying? Get it done, whatever. You might not get all the time that you spent onto it, but you're gonna get paid. You'll be reimbursed, right? Obviously warranty just needed to get fixed and keep going. But when it's customer pay, if you have to validate that as well, right? You can't just say I spent 2 hours and I just ran. What can I say? I replaced the clamp. Something minor and stupid, right? Obviously that doesn't work that way. But if you can validate like step by step, I did this, I did this, I checked voltage, I checked resistance, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Everything going down the line. If you can validate those 2 hours, but still will not get down to the root cause. Like I said, my shop foreman has always directed me just stop right there, and then we'll talk to the customer to see if we can extend the like get at least another 2 hours. Like, okay, so that's the way we do that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the cons, just like you said right now too, was a pro for you, a con for me. That you just get to work on a truck, fix it, get your parts, get done, be done with it, right? As far as us, that is a con that we have to get approval. We have to actually send out a quote. And even though it doesn't really take that long, it takes like maybe 5 minutes. It's still a little bit of time that gets taken from you, right? To set up the email, send it to the parts guy. Then the parts guy has to get all the parts quoted and start. Then they got to talk to the shop foreman or the advisors and see if we have parts in stock, if they can be ordered, freighted in, blah, blah, blah. And that could take half a day to a whole day, you know? So that's downtime. What's good though is that in the meantime, while that truck is down, like at our shop, each tech pretty much has like two bays. We can have two trucks inside of the shop. So if that truck is down, you know what I'm saying, wait, pending approval or whatever the case may be, we might be handed another RO here. Get this one. You know what I'm saying? And again, my shop foreman, he tries to do a good job. Where if you have like a big job, he'll start feeding you like small jobs here and there. You know what I'm saying? To get something quick in and out, so that you won't be stuck on two big jobs at the same time. So that is a pro in that aspect right there. But I do see your point of view where you're saying that is a con, and that is a con, having to have a truck down, just waiting on parts, pending approval, whatever the case may be. I mean, there's been
Hmm.
times where at the dealership, man, we've had trucks there for like 2 weeks just waiting approvals.
Hmm.
Months, even months. Like when it comes down to like actually R&R an engine or in frame or whatever, they've
Hmm.
been even months. I mean, to the point where they're just like, you know what, just back the truck out and leave it outside. You know what I'm saying? Make sure all the parts are covered, whatever, blah blah blah, and just pull it out so you can get another truck in. You know. But as far as pros, I think one of the best pros that I could actually come up with and think about is being able to do what you love. You know what I'm saying? I see that as a big pro, man. Like me, like my wife has told, like one time my brother-in-law had came in to visit, right, a while back, and he was like, man, he goes, every time I see Tony, they call me Tony, right? But every time I see Tony coming in, or going to work or coming back, he's always happy, and he's like the only one who's always happy to go to work. And it's true, man, because the way I see it and what I've learned is that as long as you're doing what you love, like you're not actually working. You know what I'm saying? And the way I break it down to people is like the way I see it is I get paid to play with trucks. I gotta break them down, tear them apart, put them back together, man. You know what I'm saying? Like consider them like Legos, not Legos, but something
Yeah.
something to that similarity. You know, I get to work on these trucks all day, man. Even when they're nightmare trucks, like I'll come home with headaches sometimes, man. Especially when you're dealing like with the electrical diag, they could become a headache. A
Yep.
nightmare truck,
Yeah.
but I still come in feeling fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? I did something, I accomplished something, and I think that's one of the biggest pros that we can all share together, man. Like especially when you have a passion for it, because you don't have a passion for it, it's a drag. You drag your feet going to work, coming back, and oh man, I
Yeah.
don't want to be here. But
Yeah.
whenever you do, man, it's a big pro. I think
Yeah.
another thing that I could actually add to that pro, and kind of it's a separate deal, but kind of in the same vein would be the camaraderie that you share with your fellow techs there. You know, at least in my case. In my case, we got like 20 guys, 22 guys that are like as far as techs, and every single one of them, man, pretty much gets along really good. And when you're there for several years, man, you start to build, like I said, like this brotherhood there. You know,
Yeah.
where one if one hurts or one, you know what I'm saying? Like the other ones, like we all feel it, kind of feel it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes a
And
huge difference.
it does make a huge difference, man. It makes a huge difference because it makes your smile get bigger when you go into work, right? Um, not only that, hey, Kentucky's over here cracking up, man. Hey, Kentucky, is that laugh saying like, man, you're full of crap, dude?
No, no. We were on here talking for 20 minutes, and we go live, and Ty decides to eat breakfast. Like it's them Cali boys, I swear.
Right?
Can't take them nowhere.
Tell him what you're. Hey, tell him what you're really laughing at. Come on. He wants to see more of this.
Oh man.
If TTS ever gets 1,000 subs, this video will never be able to be monetized.
It will not be monetized, right?
Hey, the words were never said.
Right?
That's true.
It was all insinuated only, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and also adding on to that same pro, I would say that whenever you also share that the camaraderie or that brotherhood, that whenever you get stuck with the truck, you can easily always look for help with one of the techs. You know, yeah. One of the great things that I could. What's up?
That's the good thing about having a good relationship with your coworkers. Is
Yeah,
that
exactly,
if you're ever in a
man.
situation where you need help, you could feel comfortable going up and asking them for help
Exactly.
without kind of wanting to shy away from like, I don't really want to talk to this person because I don't get along with them. But if you feel comfortable and everybody's cool with each other, everybody likes helping each other out. Everything works as like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly, and it's all for the betterment of the company and for each other as well, right? Because a lot of times
Yeah.
you get stuck and you can't figure it out. Like there's been times where I've gone up to I had when I started up there, I started out with 2 lead techs, right? Actually one, and then they threw me to another one, but I still consider both of them. I still consider them to be my lead techs. Um, so I could easily go to either one of them and be like, hey man, like I got this issue with this truck or whatever, and they'll take the time to go over there, they will get it figured out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then it's a learning experience. It's like I learned this. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know this, I didn't think about this or whatever, but now I got something that I could add to the repertoire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just kind of keep it there. It's like, man, we got to figure it out. And then after it's all said and done, it's like I gained that edge now because I learned something. You know. And one of the good things about one of the techs, one of my lead techs, one of my mentors too, is that he every time he helps me out, he doesn't actually just give me the answer. Like he'll look at the codes or whatever, and he'll tell me how to kind of go about it, what to look for, but he doesn't give me the direct answer. You know?
Yeah, see, that's another thing too, is you want somebody to kind of help you out without doing the work for you. You want them to kind of
Exactly.
teach you and kind of show you what to look for the next time around.
Exactly. So those are some of the pros, man. I mean, the other pros that I would say would be like dealer training. Like I forget one of the other guys was saying it right now, but Kentucky actually, right? You're talking about the training and bettering yourself and stuff like that. So that's one of the things where I actually started getting training is when I started working at the dealership. So and that's great, dude, because you learn so much. Like when I've gone for training for like MX and stuff. Uh, a lot of the things you kind of know it, but you don't really think about it until you actually go to training and they simplify everything, and you're like, wow, like I knew this, but it's been so simplified now that I have a bigger understanding of what it is now. You know what I'm saying? So training actually helps you a lot, and it's not just that, but it also adds little notches to your belt, right?
Yeah.
And that's and ultimately, I guess training is also gonna how can I put this? Like nobody can take that from you. It's knowledge that's added to you, and nobody can ever take that knowledge away from you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
The way I see training as it's an investment in your technician. So
Exactly.
if you're putting the investment in your technician, you're keeping them happy, they're going to be more productive for you and they're going to be more knowledgeable for you. And in the worst case
Exactly.
scenario, in the worst case scenario, you know something doesn't work out later down the road, you leave. You still have that knowledge. It's with you in the
Yep.
individual, not as a whole. You know.
Exactly, exactly. So it's pretty much an investment in both parties, right? Because while the company invests in you, for you to gain that knowledge, they're benefiting off of it because you're using that knowledge to their advantage or for them for their benefit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's an investment in you because, like you said, you get to keep that knowledge. And if you walk out that door for whatever reason, you get to take that knowledge with you, you know? And in the end, both parties actually end up being happy because they got what they paid for, and you got something that can't be taken from you either, you know? So that's another
Mhm.
pro. Same thing
Uh,
when it comes like, go ahead.
I was about to say, talking about dealership training. I just started Navistar training, and I watched a 10-minute video on why the new Navistar engine is called an A26. Spoiler alert: it's alpha, and 26 is shorthand for 260 millimeter diameter bore.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. 10 minutes of my life, and I had to pass a 5-question test.
Hey, but you got points for it though, right?
It
You get
eventually it'll go into it'll once I finish the training, it'll all go into my next promotion.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's actually what I was gonna really touch on right now with the dealer training is as after your dealer training when you get your certifications. Same thing. I mean that becomes more like of a promotional thing. So whenever you get your raises and stuff, you know. So yeah, so those are some of the pros, man. As far as cons, like I would say working in a dealership would be first of all warranty work. I don't know if you guys do warranty work or not, but warranty
Hmm.
work, especially like I know you guys we're talking about it off the air or before we went live or started recording, but as flag as a flag technician, when you get warranty work, you don't always make the time that you put into it, man. Sometimes you can, sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? Because warranty does not really pay that good, you know. Especially I'm not gonna name names or companies or anything like that, but warranty work is I would consider to be one of the cons.
Well, I
Uh,
think that's the difference between someone who's hourly and someone who's flagging,
yeah.
because you know we do some warranty work to an extent. If it's something quick like an EGR cooler or something like that, we'll just swap it out real quick, and
Hmm.
we'll bill Cummins for it, and get our warranty payback. But
Yeah.
for like big stuff like that, we'll just send it back to Cummins and have them fix it because it's under warranty.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, since we're the dealer, like we're the guys who actually do the warranty work. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said,
Mhm.
there's big jobs where it's just like there's no possible way I'm gonna get this, but I mean, you can't always say no to all the work, right?
Right.
You just got to get it done. But in the same respect as well, like I was always taught when I started working there, is that you win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take the good with the bad. You know, there's gonna be times like when you get customer pay, and it's gonna be an extreme example, right? I know this it's not gonna be that way, but let's just say you could get like 10 hours, you get paid 10 hours, and you can knock it out in 5, as an example. But then you get
Mhm.
some warranty work where you kind of lost out, but so it kind of evens out, you know. But the other con I would see would be like we were talking about earlier, the grunt work, man, the PMs, all the little grunt work. You know, that's not such a good thing, man. That's not. You know, like no, I don't think any diesel tech likes doing PMs. Liking them, you don't really like doing PMs, man. Nobody likes doing PMs, especially when you have to grease the truck and you just. I'm one of those guys that as soon as I just touch my grease gun, automatically like my whole uniform's already full of grease for some reason. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I haven't even squeezed the trigger yet, and I'm already full of grease.
Yeah,
So I mean, those
you're
are
you're you're that guy who's covered in head
Sleeves.
to you're that guy who's covered head to toe in anti-seize by 8:30 every morning.
exactly. That's pretty much me right there, man.
The worst part of
Um,
greasing to me is putting away the hose.
Yeah.
That hose is always dirty.
right? Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, man. So those are some of the cons. The other con, on my personal, like I know you guys were Ty and Dave were saying that they like those road calls because they get to leave the shop. I don't really like those road calls all that much, to be honest with you.
I love them.
I, I would prefer being in the shop, man, all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? Not all day, all night, but you know. all day long. I'd rather be in the comfort of my base where I could have access to all my tools. No crap going wrong on the road, and then like, man, I forgot this tool, whatever the case may be, you know.
Yeah.
So I personally, my cons that I would put down road costs for me.
Okay.
And then again, same thing we were talking about earlier as well. The cost of tools, you know, especially when you try to get the quality tools that you actually need for the jobs and stuff, and then they can get quite expensive. So that to me would be another con.
I got a quick question for you.
All right.
So being more in the fleet setting, most engines that I'm aware of are mostly metric, right? So you probably have a lot of investment in metric tools.
The majority
And
of it, I would say like 90% of it is metric.
so when you get something coming in let's say axle work or brake work where it's SAE, do you guys have the tools for that, or do you have to invest in that as well?
We had to invest in everything. The only thing the company would really actually give you or provide rather is going to be the specialty tools. Like when you come to like working on engines and stuff like that, you know, like cylinder pullers and liner pullers and stuff like that, or the
Mhm.
valve to pull up like the valves and stuff like that, or yeah, like to
Keepers.
do a valve job and yeah, there you go, the keepers and all that. They provide those specialty tools, but as far as like sockets, wrenches, you know what I'm saying, stuff to do brake jobs, stuff like that, all of that
Yeah.
you have to provide yourself. Except I will say, except for like hub nuts. Like the hub nuts, they give us like
Mhm.
the hub nut sockets, like the three-quarter inch, our
Yeah.
big 3/4 inch drive torque wrench and stuff like that. That's provided.
Okay.
But your basic hand tools and stuff like that, you have to have all of that.
That's kind of where what I
So
really meant to say was like, do they require you to have up to like maybe all of half-inch drive and below, and then three-quarter and up they provide, or do you have a lot of three-quarter of your own stuff?
well, I have my own 3/4 stuff. I think I made a video about that a couple of like a week ago or so. When I was talking about the Sun experience, I don't know. I think I uploaded it already. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways,
Sunex versus Snap On.
yeah, Sonics versus Snap-on, right? I think
Yeah,
I did that one
yeah, that
already,
one
and I was talking
you
about it.
uploaded that.
Okay, all right, yeah, there you go, there you go. So in there, I talk about how they provide like as an example, like to torque down the hub nut, right? On the hubs, it's a 3 3/4 inch socket, 3/4 drive. We have one of those. We have one of those, and they also give us a 3/4 inch drive torque wrench. But I bought my own, and I bought my own because 20 techs, one socket, one torque wrench. Who knows who's using it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And coming back to the same thing again, when you're flagged, you want to try to get the job out as quick because if it's just sitting in your bay and you're waiting around, you're losing time, you know. And
Yeah.
losing time means losing money for a flag. So I have more sockets or than some of the other guys or some of the bigger sockets as well. I have my own sockets, but because of the same reason. But they are provided at the dealership though,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Kind of long
Yeah.
winded, but yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. You want me to go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
I
hear.
took
We
some
got to hear
notes.
that bus talk.
A lot of this stuff was already kind of discussed already, but I'll kind of just go over it again. And I didn't actually take notes on who said what, so just kind of chime in if you want. So pros for me would be Union. That could be a pro and a con, but for me, it's been a pro. So I'm going to label that as pro. It all kind of depends on contracts, which I know one mechanic talked about. Could have a good contract, you could have a bad contract. It just kind of depends. Our contracts are also every 3 years, I believe. Right now we're on a decent one. I think our pay scale is low for our area, but we do get a lot of perks. We do get tool allowance and we do get boot allowance every year. They're very generous with sick time and vacation time, so that's definitely part of the union contract, which is I think is a big part of the pro. What else? A pro I see as working in a fleet would be specializing in a specific equipment type. So I think Kentucky mentioned it's a pro in some cases where you're really good at working at a specific make and model of vehicle and engine type and whatever. But if
Mhm.
you were to ever leave, you're kind of way behind on the times as far as how the rest of the world's going. You know, if you're Kentucky's running Detroit's for, years, and all of a sudden he leaves and he goes somewhere where there's pack cars, he's going to be lost.
Yep.
And that works for everybody, I think, in fleet. So that's kind of a pro and a con. But
Yeah, if I could say something, man, I saw a video a while back, had nothing to do with technician work or anything like that. I mean, it was actually it was a business video. But ultimately, the guy was breaking down the difference between specializing and generalizing, you know? And I put it into perspective in my own, being that we're working as a technician, right, in the dealership. And I like what he was talking about, because what he was talking about is that whenever you generalize, or people who pretty much generalize, what they do is that they'll start working on a little bit of everything, but they can't they can't specialize, obviously, 100% in one particular thing. That's whenever, like, a lot of independent shops will generalize, because they try to work on anything. But when something goes wrong, they're not. It's not completely their specialty where they can actually break or come down to the root cause. So they'll actually have to, like, send it out to the dealership, and that's when we take it and we specialize. So that's whenever it's on us to figure it out. See what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
So whenever, like in my case, like that, I'm in a dealership setting, I'm trying to take in as much information as I can. It's like we were talking about earlier, that information, that knowledge will never leave you, right? But in the same respect, we become specialists. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In like Cummins. So I mean, like, because we've had a lot of, like, I've been out to road calls, and just going through the shop where they'll bring us, like, from, like, again, another small independent shops. They couldn't figure it out, so they sent it to us. And like one of my lead techs always told me, he's like, and he's pretty much right. And I think it falls into this little segment where we're talking about specializing and generalizing, where he says the dealership is the customer's last hope a lot of the times, you know. Well, pretty much, if they bring it to the dealership, it's because they've already gone around to independent shops and they couldn't get it figured out. So they bring it to us. So it is our responsibility to deliver and figure it out for them and get them going. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would consider that a pro to I don't know, this is my person. I'm sorry to interject, man. I just wanted to put that in there, but I
Well,
would consider it a pro to be able to specialize on these engines, on any
yeah.
engine.
yeah.
If we're trying to generalize.
Well,
Okay.
as far as like specialized and generalized go, I talked to a guy one time who the best tech at his shop was, everybody knew he was the best engine guy around. He could call off the torque specs for an ISX head just on the spot. He was really good. But if you pulled a brake job in his bay, he was going to get somebody else to do it because he was so over specialized. I want to be, you want to try and be a bumper to bumper guy.
Yeah, that's true. Going back on cons, at least my experience with fleet has been training. It's like, you got to really, really hound them for getting training. And a lot of the time it's not in the budget and they don't have it and they'll postpone it. So you're behind the times. It's a con as far as the investment part. Like we talked about earlier, it's an investment in us. So without having that, you're lacking on that investment. On the other hand, it kind of motivates you more to learn on your own, and you really put in extra effort to learn the shit because you have to.
Yeah.
So, it depends on how you see it. Parts availability, that's I think in every fleet has been kind of an issue. With the bus industry specifically, we're pretty much working around the clock. So me being on night shift, we can't just go over to Cummins and get a part if we need it because Cummins is closed. So a lot of the jobs are put on hold, and most of the time the next morning day shift gets it because Cummins is open. They'll just go and get the part, pass that job off to somebody who's there to get it out of the shop quicker. So it's like you come across this gravy job and you're just like, yeah, like I'm excited to do this shit. Oh, we don't have the part. Oh, okay. And then next thing you know, you show up to work the next day, the bus is already gone. You're like, hey, what happened? Oh, one of the day guys fixed it. So that's the con, and that plays into con of working in fleet would be shift. So seniority, it's mainly a lot of union jobs are seniority based. So if you're lower on the seniority list, you're going to be working nights, weekends, holidays, and stuff like that. So it's kind of just something you got to be prepared for.
Hey, Tyler,
What's
do
up?
you guys carry any kind of parts?
Yeah, we do. We have, I would say, like, I've worked at several different fleets, and the fleet I'm at right now currently has probably the best stock in parts. At least for the most common parts, they're always pretty much in stock. Since this whole COVID thing happened, we've had a lot of people out. Like for the past 2 weeks, we've actually had both of our parts guys out, and it was just a mess. Like there was a point where we were dropping oil, and like, oh shit, we don't have any oil to put in the buses because we don't have parts guys. So that job doesn't really come to thought to any other management because they're not used to doing it. So it becomes a red flag, and we're like, hey, we're out of oil. We can't do this oil change, or we can't do this, or we can't do that, and everybody's kind of scrambling. But on a normal basis, when everybody's there and everybody's healthy and everybody's everybody's there, everything is pretty much smooth. We usually have most common parts. We usually have all the fluids we need, and it's never really an issue.
Yeah, we take care of our own parts. So we have brake chambers, slack adjusters, hoses, lights, mirrors, hydraulic fittings and hoses, and we watch our own oils. So we have to order our own oils. But I'm just curious.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's pretty much all I got down in my notes. A lot of the stuff was already kind of discussed between the three of you guys.
well, I just thought of something else. You brought up parts. Working with a fleet, generally, wherever you're at, there's more than one parts distributor around. So if I call Freightliner and I need a gear train housing gasket for an ISX, and they don't have it, I can call my international dealership and see if they have it.
Right.
So, but if I work at the Freightliner dealership, they're going to have to overnight that gasket in and everything else. So that truck's down for a day without me working on it.
I don't really know too much about your fleet, and I don't really expect you to give out a whole bunch of information. But like, how is you guys' budget? Like, is it just like, hey, it needs it, get it, or do they have to like kind of think about it?
Oh yeah, that whenever the truck leaves my bay, it is supposed to be the best possible truck I can put on the road. It doesn't matter if it's leaking oil, you gotta fix it. Air leak, gotta fix it. The seat isn't comfortable, gotta fix it. I mean, and I understand that these guys live in these trucks. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was going to drive 1,500 miles a week,
Are they sleepers? Are a lot of the cabs sleepers?
Some of them. I mean, we're about 50-50.
So it depends on the route, local route, long haul, stuff like that.
I mean, we got a bunch of little 26-foot box trucks. We got a bunch of sleepers. We got a bunch of day cabs.
I got a question for mainly Antonio in Kentucky. So working on trucks and with sleepers, do you guys ever have to work on like the bathroom part of it? Like the
most trucks don't have sleepers.
No?
Or most trucks don't have bathrooms in the sleeper.
No, they don't have bathrooms. Up until now, I have never seen a sleeper with a bathroom in it. I will say this: I did not see this one, right? But this is a story that our shop foreman told us whenever he was working at another location. That they had to work on a truck, and I forgot what was wrong with the man. And the guy, he had to crawl to the bottom of it. And he came out disgusting, just about vomiting and stuff like that. And he was like, you know what, man, I'm not going to work on this truck and this and that. The guy was like, well, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? He was like, nah, man, this truck is disgusting or whatever. Long story short, they went inside of the sleeper, and the drivers had actually built in a hole so that they could do their business. So the whole drive line and everything was all full of manure.
Oh, that's nasty.
You know what I'm saying? And even my shop foreman was like, you know what? Absolutely right, man. He told the guys, supposedly the guys got mad or whatever, but he's like, no, get your disgusting truck and get out of here, man. You know, you got to get this thing washed off and take it somewhere else.
I've never had that happen, but I have had several trucks that had a bucket in them, and those are bad. Those,
I'm pretty sure,
driving
man. I can imagine
around.
this.
just leaned out as far as you can out the window, trying to get any fresh air you can.
There's been a couple times where I used to work on commuter coaches, and those have bathrooms in the back. And the pipe for the tank runs right over all of these airlines and stuff like that. And it's not a perfect seal. Like, you'll get some seepage through there, and you're there changing out airlines and fittings and stuff, and they're kind of covered in like shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
I like how you tried to like reword it and work around that one word, and then you just
Can't.
And it just came out, right? Like, there's no better word but this.
Yeah. How else do I describe? Okay.
But yeah, and I was gonna add into what Kentucky was saying with putting out the best possible truck for a fleet. I used to work for a fleet company, not a fleet company. I'm sorry, for a small paper company. It's called Matera Paper Company. So we had the trucks that would, we worked from 8 to 5. The whole facility was that way, right? Not just the shop, but the whole facility was like that. So whatever and I was there like the PM tech or the maintenance tech, and well, the mechanic, right? But we had the service manager who was the actual like diagnostic tech at that time. And that's what they would do too. They want us to fix it at any cost necessary and put it on the road. But the only difference was that with them, they wanted pretty much everything to work so that it was DOT, like perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, no air leaks, engine being top notch, transmission, clutch, whatever, blah blah blah. When it came to the interior, they did not care. If your radio didn't work because you wanted to listen to the FM radio, they didn't care.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If
So
the
that's
seat was uncomfortable, they didn't care. You know.
so
You
I
know
can
what
say
I'm saying?
the sorry to interrupt, but the biggest difference I think between working on trucks and working on buses is that you guys have to worry about scales. So I could see where you have to have everything tip top because it's going through the scales constantly.
Yeah.
Versus us, we're just in town. We're just in the city. We don't ever go. I mean, we do highway, but we don't do scales.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we do have CHP inspections every 13 months, where they'll come in, they'll inspect all the buses, and But the
Yeah.
difference too is we're transporting people, which is more valuable than product, because product can be replaced, people can't. So
Yeah, exactly.
there's
I
different.
don't know if our truck's pulling toilet paper.
That's true. It's gonna get robbed like Fast and the Furious.
Right? Hot commodities right there, man.
Yeah.
And should start seeing toilet paper on the black market.
Yeah. You have to go to the dark web to get a pack of Charmin.
Dave's just
man.
over there all quiet. Dave's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I use my hand.
Waffle
I use my
Waffle.
Snap-on shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you mean
That's-
Harbor Freight, right?
You
There
know
you
it.
go, Harbor Freight, man. The
Harbor
Freight
Freight.
flyers.
Yeah. I just realized how divisive this layout is. You got the Snap-on guys up top and the Mac guys on bottom.
Yeah.
You trying to say something, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know who the number one tool company is.
Yeah.
Of course.
Cornwell.
Stanley Black and Decker. But,
Yeah.
No, the FBI is going to tap us now. Thanks.
Right?
yeah. Be careful with your eBay searches, boys.
Impact.
It's an
Oh.
impact wrench. Okay.
I wanna-
Oh.
I want to go a little bit off topic here,
And
then hopefully not too
Uh-huh.
long. But have any of you guys checked out the torque test channel?
oh, dude, I love that channel.
So I've been into that lately, where they test
Oh.
out the different impacts, and it's kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What is it called?
The
Torque
torque
test.
test channel?
I'll send you a link later. I'll send it to
Oh,
our
yeah,
group
please.
chat.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Is that the one who just did a Snap-on against Harbor Freight?
Yeah,
I don't know if he's done Snap-on yet.
I saw a preview for, I think, him recently.
But I mean, he does working torque testing. That way, there's no nut busting or breakaway or all that. I mean, it's really interesting what
It's
some of those impacts will actually do.
Yeah, and it's informative too. Like if you're in the market for buying something, like it's a good place to check out, I think.
Yeah.
So,
So,
what else do I got in my notes? Do you guys have any more notes? I know you got the whiteboard.
well, I mean, so I guess next would be what to expect.
Okay.
So
Who wants to start that one off?
I don't know.
I'll start that one off. I'll start that one off. Yeah. Like I said, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, expect a shitty schedule. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, and you have to put in your time for it, and it's just kind of something you got to deal with. But if you plan on staying somewhere, which unfortunately I haven't stayed anywhere too long to really get to a good spot, but the longer you're there, the better your schedule will be. You just got to put in the time. And it's a small sacrifice, I think, to make for a good career. Expect lower wages. I've noticed that wages are kind of going down lately, at least in California. I don't know if it's just a California thing, but the wages seem a little bit lower. Like, my pay hasn't really changed much since I first started versus now. It's kind of hover around the same rate. I don't know what it's like in your guys' areas.
Well, I don't know, man. I haven't really paid too much attention to what wages are right now. But I would probably assume it's because of all of what's going on, right? The whole pandemic and everything like that. I know a lot of people had lost their jobs, especially here in Texas. Uh, they started closing down a lot of oil fields and stuff like that. So there was like an overabundance of techs looking for work. So that could probably have a big impact, you know. Um, Luckily, being that I was there at the dealership, I mean, nobody really at the dealership actually lost their job. As far as the techs go, nobody in the dealership lost their jobs during that time. There wasn't no pay cuts either for techs. We had people in other departments who were let go and then eventually brought back. But I think that's probably might be what's going on right now. If you haven't noticed it, like I said, I haven't noticed any I haven't really paid attention. But if you have noticed it, that might be one of the reasons why.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's something I was gonna say, like what to expect. With me,
Yeah.
and one mechanic, we're both kind of government related. So, there's just been no job cuts whatsoever at least in the public transportation world. So you can expect job security for sure. I'm comfortable saying that. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, security is there for sure.
Yeah.
The money is from contract to contract, so you never know. But we've never had a pay cut.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and even though I don't think we get paid probably what the other two guys are getting paid, but like I get every government holiday off because of the union. I get free eye care and dental care. I can take overtime and I can trade it in for more time off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other benefits. If you're looking at dollar per hour, we're not getting paid the best.
Right.
If you look at the overall benefits, though, I think we're getting paid pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one for sure.
That's good for you guys, man. Go ahead.
So where I work, and this is kind of specific to my company, they pay really good. So I would take probably a $4 or $5 an hour pay cut to go to the dealership.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean
That's a big difference. That's huge.
I mean
That's
that's
big.
like $8,000 or $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
I mean,
But if given the choice, now I'm not gonna say given the choice, right? Because we're all gonna choose the money. But if it came to be, would you consider that sacrifice to be worth it in order to get further in with the dealership?
no,
No, you wouldn't consider that to be a worthy sacrifice?
no.
No.
The dealership during the last year was actually cutting hours. They were doing anything they could to get people in the door. I mean, they were giving away free valve adjustments, free labor on oil changes. They were doing all kinds of stuff, just trying to get people in. And
we never did that.
I've been busier the past year than I was the year before. So, I mean,
okay,
my work doesn't stop.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, no, the reason why I was asking is because, like, when I first got into the dealership, and I even said this on one of my videos, right? I think my introduction video was when I first got into the dealership, or got accepted. I hadn't even started working. I had this immense feeling that I had made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the dealership was the spot to be at, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy where I'm at. It wasn't what it was cut out to be. Not 100%, you know? It was not like a dream. It is a dream career. I don't want to make it sound like I'm crapping all over my dealership or working for a dealership, but it's not like the way you think. You know, like, I'm in the dealership, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got it made now. You know, like, you still got to put in the work and everything. Although I will say that I do love that aspect of them actually training you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna gain a lot of knowledge out of it for sure. Experience.
Yeah, exactly. The other side to that coin too, not the other side to the coin, but the other thing I wanted to touch on right now that just popped into my head is working for the dealership. I think you might be able to say this too. Is we get to work on all the newer stuff, so we have like a pretty close eye on where the future is actually headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the newer stuff that's coming out. I mean, not just like in training. Like, I don't know other vehicles or other like Freightliner and stuff like that, but I don't like Kenworth and Peterbilt's have started coming out with these trucks that have what they call the DECUs now. So there's just a whole bunch of new ECUs that are being put into these trucks. Mm-hmm. And we get training. Not only do we get training, but now we get to work on those vehicles and we get to see them firsthand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Now, one other thing I have to add is, I mean, Tyler and I has already talked about it quite a bit, but I'm looking at retirement from my company. And
nice.
I mean, a paid retirement, and because it's government, besides getting retirement, I'll also even get some Social Security, not that much, but a little bit there too. Mm-hmm. So with my job, and if I get hurt, depending on how I get hurt, I can get some time paid to be off work to get fixed or repaired, however you want to look at it. You know, which at a dealership, unless you have Aflac or something, you're not going to get.
Yeah.
So,
we have some of mine. We have insurance and stuff like that. We obviously have to pay for our own medical insurance, but we do have like short-term disability that's provided to us, long-term disability as well. You know, so we do have some of that stuff provided as well. So I mean, that's another little pro to add to there.
Yeah. But anywhere you work, you're gonna have thick skin.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah. That is very true, man.
I could personally say that I've changed a lot since I started versus now, because I used to take things personal, and I used to get beat up by, like, you know, not beat up physically, but, you know, verbally by a lot of the older techs, and it used to get to me. And it's like,
I thought Dave was still mean to you.
No, I'm actually mean to him.
It's not his fault he's short.
It's elder abuse. But no, I've gone through fair share of bullying, and you just gotta take it. You know, it's all in fun. Yeah. It's really nothing personal, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say too. Is a lot of times, man. I mean, it's all fun and games, man. And because at the same, I mean, everybody's gonna bust your chops. You know what I'm saying? They're all gonna bust chops. They're gonna bust balls and stuff like that. It's just the way it is, man. It's shop talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the way it is in a shop, no matter what industry you're in, whether it's automotive or exactly. It's tech talking shop, man.
No, it's techs talking shit.
Oh yeah.
Just don't tell HR.
But no, you're absolutely right, man. Because I mean, especially like being like like I said, we had 20 techs, and if something goes wrong, you can almost guarantee that they're gonna bust your chops there, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they are gonna make you pay for making a mistake. It's you know, and the smaller, not smaller, but the sillier the mistake, the more they're gonna bust your chops. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to
Mm-hmm.
have thick skin and just realize that they're just having fun with you, man. And today's your turn, tomorrow's gonna be their turn. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we had one of my lead tech, man, and at that time it was my first lead tech, who I consider my mentor, and I was working with him when I first started. We were checking an engine. I forgot what engine it was. I think it was a Caterpillar, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, there's a quick little story, man. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but just kind of had to do with it, right? But um, the engine didn't want to start. Like it wasn't running, right? And when it was started, it sounded like crap. Long story short, everybody was telling him, that engine's no good, man. That engine's no good. What are you doing? And he's like, no, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. Well, we were testing it and checking some stuff. That's the first time I ever heard an engine run away.
Oh shit.
You know, yeah, that was the first time I ever heard an engine run away. He told me, he was like, "Hey, turn the truck on." So I went on I cranked it up. The truck turned on, and he's like, "Turn it off," and I turned it off, and I just started hearing woo, 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 and it started going. And he was like, "Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off." I'm like, "The key's right here in my hand." He's like, "Get out of the truck, get out of the truck." Went in there, popped it in high gear, boom, boom, shut everything down, right? And where we're going with that, man, being that he was a lead tech, man, they busted his chops. Obviously, he has very thick skin, right? And he was all fun and games. And somebody started playing a song. I forgot who sings it, man, but it's that song, "She's a Little Runaway."
Oh,
And they started playing that song on repeat all day for him, man. "She's a Little Runaway."
oh shit.
But you know what? Our respect to my lead tech, man. After everybody was saying that it was a waste of time, that the engine was no good before it ran away, even though it didn't run away, no catastrophic failure or anything. But again, long story short, he got the job done, man. He got the truck fixed, and it was not a blown engine. You know what I'm saying? Not like the way everybody was saying that it was just a waste of time. We got him going. But yeah, like I said, that's just
Merch
to kind of
link
add
in
to.
bio.
What's up?
Merch link in bio.
Yeah.
Merch link in bio.
I should have worn mine. Should have worn mine.
Honestly, like one of my favorite shirts.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Tech
you.
May thanks
Thank
you.
you, and
Yeah.
and Tech May.
I like to wear it to Walmart because one of these days it's going to get recognized. I'm going to call
Yeah.
you Dave,
Right.
and I'm going to be like, "Hey, man, I'm with this dude. He says he's a fan." And I'm just going to like leave my phone with him, let you talk to him for like an hour.
Thanks.
But
Hey, so
yeah. No, I was
just
gonna say,
know-
but yeah, man, you gotta have really thick skin in this industry, man. If not, it's gonna eat you alive, spit you out, and
for sure.
use your bones as a toothpick. So
Yeah, that's true. Dave, you've not to pick on your age, but you've been around a while. You probably have some good stories with some bullying in the shop, right?
Just by me.
Oh, okay.
Nothing you
No,
can talk about in 3 states.
Yeah.
Probably not. Not legally. There's still that one case.
Yeah.
We did have a mechanic in that was professionally trained as an auto mechanic, and they hired him in and stuff like that. And because he was trained and just out of school, he thought he knew everything. And he's and not to put down millennials, but the millennial joke, he fit it. And he didn't come into work a couple of days because he had gout. And we called him to see how he's doing.
What?
And we're just kidding around.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, you can't come in because your big toe hurts, blah, blah, blah. He called HR and said we were bullying him.
oh man,
It was
No.
camaraderie, It was guys talking
Yeah.
guys crap, garage talk. It's like, really?
Shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's no longer with us, thank God. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I mean,
had
it's just like this actually happens to me this past week. I did an ABS harness on this one truck, and one of the speed sensors was actually installed with a real short tail like that, right? So I was trying to figure out how to get it in there or put that connect that one line or that one speed sensor. So I went underneath, like where the airbag was at, right? And I was like, well, you know what? In my mind, I was like, this is gonna be like the safest way so that it doesn't rub out or we don't cause no damage to the new ABS harness. So I connected it, and it was done. And I told it. That was a job that was sent down to me from my lead tech because my lead tech wasn't he didn't go in on Monday, right? So they gave it to me. So I finished the job, cleared the codes and everything. And I told the lead tech, I was like, hey man, just check the harness, make sure everything's routed to the way that you like it, and just let me know if I have to correct something. Let me know. Like, all right. He turned the truck on, pulled it out, brought it to my bay. He was like, hey man, you didn't see that the ABS light was on? I was like, no. Like everything was off. I cleared the codes and everything. He's like, okay. He's like, well, let me go ahead and connect to it. And he was like, man, it showed me an open circuit on the wheel speed sensor. And I was like, well, let me go see what's up. And I went to the back and it was disconnected. Um, because what ended up happening, he turned it on, and I didn't think about it at that moment, right? But the airbag went up, so when the airbag went up, it pulled the wire and it disconnected. Luckily, nothing tore, right? But it just pulled the wire, but it disconnected. And I was like, oh, and you could tell, man, it was him and two other guys that were there that tech. And again, like I said, man, they were busting my chops, And I was like, hey, you're like, it's disconnected. He goes, you didn't connect it? Like, yeah, I did, man. And I was like, I put it under here because of the airbag. And they started like, oh yeah. They started like winking at me. Yeah, yeah. It was the airbag. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was a silly mistake, man. But they were busting my chops, But like I said, you gotta have the thick skin, man. I mean, it's all fun and games. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in my mind, I know today was my turn. Tomorrow might be their turn. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all capable of making mistakes, and you just gotta take it, man. Just have fun with it. I mean, ultimately, like I said earlier, having passion and stuff like that, that's part of it. Just having fun. When you're in the garage, you're in the shop, you gotta have fun.
And hopefully you learn from those.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because yeah, there's some people that kind of repeat the same mistakes over and over again, and they get hammered pretty hard. But
I saw this one quote somewhere right now that you just said that says we're all allowed to make mistakes. What is not allowed is to not learn from your mistakes. So you can make that one mistake like it was a silly mistake for me on my side, but if I don't learn from that on the next one, then it's shame on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at just over an hour now. I want to give a quick shout out to somebody, and he's over there near you, Antonio, I believe. I don't know if you've heard of Chase over at Rush Peterbilt. I think Rush Peterbilt is where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chase Hughes.
Chase Hughes, yeah, Squeaks Diesel on Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude is smart.
He's such a cool guy. He has a lot of good information. Just kind of want to give him a shout out. He does. I've talked to him a little bit about getting into it, and I think he's still kind of learning on the YouTube part. But he's killing it as far as the IGTV stuff goes. Like he does some pretty good
Really?
stuff.
No, that's cool, man. I'd like to hook up with him, man. Because
Yeah, you follow him on Instagram?
I don't know. I don't even know who he is, so I really doubt it.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to his page. He's a cool guy. He knows a lot of stuff. And he's always real helpful.
He's a younger guy. He's a younger guy, but I mean, the way he thinks about electrical issues it's something you need to learn.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah, definitely, man. I would definitely like to hook up with them.
Yeah, he'll message you back too. Don't be afraid to ask him.
Yeah.
Already. That's good, man. Well, that's the type of people I like. I like surrounding myself with, man, because kind of like we're talking about some channels sometimes thinking like they're bigger than other channels. You know what I'm saying? You got to be humble, right? And that's what I like, man. Whenever you get those messages and people respond, or you send a message out to somebody who you might admire or like, you know what I'm saying, and you get a message back from them, it's like, wow, like this dude's cool, He don't think he's on his pedestal or anything like that. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think that's what's great about all of us here at TTS. I think everybody here on TTS is that type of person that will always kind of help out any way they can. And for the most part, get back to you in a timely manner. I know I'm not the best at that, but
Yeah.
I do definitely get back to everybody at some point. Even
Yeah.
Antonio, he gets back to people like 3 days later, and that message is long gone. I don't know, somehow he finds it and he responds.
Well, I'll be honest, man. What happens with the TTS, especially like on our group chat, is sometimes you guys, not you guys directly, but I'm just saying as a whole, they'll start sending messages like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm asleep, man. And I'm one of those that I hear a little noise and I wake up right away. So what I do is that I mute it, and sometimes I'll forget, and then I'm there like at 8 o'clock the next night. And then I look at my Instagram messages and it says I have like 9 plus, obviously saying more than 10 messages. So I start kind of reading through them, and then that's when I start saying like, oh, I got mentioned here and I got mentioned there. So like, okay, well, I guess I got to
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah, poor Antonio.
The very
Yeah,
first
poor
night,
me, man.
the very first night we did the group message with TTS,
Oh,
I muted it right away. It was just blowing up my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
So I kind
exactly.
of just
That was
check
the
it
same
here
thing
and
with me.
there. I see the
Yeah.
little red dot saying there's how many messages, but I don't get the little sound and the buzz or anything like that.
I get them
Yeah.
I get them from the Kentucky Tech page, but I don't get them from the TTS page anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how I shut that off, but I don't get notifications on messages from the TTS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys on the
like I
West
said,
Coast kept me up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No.
Yeah, I know. I think like Ty just said, right? The first night they even had everybody went live or something like that, man. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what are you guys up
Yeah.
to, man?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean that's one of the reasons too why I'm not really active, because I kind of mute those messages, and then I get busy around, especially like with my baby boy now and everything.
Yeah,
And I
no,
don't have time until it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I just get to kind of like go through some messages and then just answer back or whatever, and then
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? And just I have to go to sleep again for the next day.
yeah,
You know?
get it. Totally get it. And
Man,
same thing with here. I mean, we're at 1:12. I told my wife we're gonna do an hour and a half, and technically we probably were on about half an hour before we actually went live. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be on here too long, but I
Yeah.
also want to kind of cover every topic and stuff like that.
Hey,
So
right now that you sent the shout out too, if you don't mind, I would like to send a shout out to Mr. Jude, Jude Power Stroke Jude, man, because that dude kind of helped put everything together, man, and he's been doing so much for the community as well. Um, not only just with the TTS, man, but just in general, I see him. He's constantly active in the YouTube community and Instagram community, man. Trying to get feedback, trying to get everybody united, and it's a great thing, man. He's a great dude. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I've had the pleasure of meeting him for just a few months already.
uh-huh.
But as of right now, man, he's been nothing but a stand up guy. So huge shout out to Mr. Power Stroke Jude, man.
Yep. Yeah, he's a cool guy, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm also convinced that he doesn't sleep either, because that he'll respond like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. He'll quick response, but then he'll
I think
you'll see him in a live stream. And he's like, oh yeah, like at 6 o'clock in the morning, I got a truck coming in that I got to work on. It's like, dude, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You got a truck coming in at 6. What do you sleep for like 3 hours or what?
Wow. Okay, so that discards that. I was about to say that, man, he was just a nocturnal animal or something, man. But if he's still up at 6 a.m.,
Yeah, he's
I don't know.
hustler.
Either that or a bunch of Red Bulls.
Yeah. So
But
so what do we have next? Well, in the series, we have Tech May, right? And
It's Danzini and
Okay.
Tone.
and Tone. No,
Okay.
okay. And they're going to be discussing
Independent
the
shops.
independent shops, more
Yep.
like on the automotive side of things,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So
Yep.
we don't know when that's coming out exactly, but it should be coming
I think
out.
it's coming out this weekend.
Okay. And what is today? Saturday?
Yeah. I don't know if theirs is coming out today too.
I think I
or
remember them
tomorrow.
saying tomorrow. I think I remember them saying that, but I could be wrong. But
Oh, that would be perfect.
Cool.
We filmed ours last and put ours right in the middle.
yep. There you go.
that's what you do it, man. You handle that like a G, man.
Hey, that's the way I say it in every video. I can't be prepared for a YouTube video. We just can't have
I
that.
can't, dude. Every time I think I'm prepared, something comes up, and I'm like, oh shit, back to square one again.
I mean, writing notes down on my little whiteboard 5 minutes before the video is me being prepared.
Yeah.
It still doesn't work.
You know, like I've said this on a couple of videos that I've done, right? But every time that I've done a video, it's just like it might be like an idea that's kind of kicked around in my head, or it's even an idea that just pops up on the fly, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video right now. No notes, no nothing. I just try to
See,
freestyle it and try to remember keynotes in my head as I go.
I'm jealous
You know?
of you, man. I wish I could do that shit, but I can't. I got so many ideas and stuff like that, notes written down, but I can't get myself to just do it like that. I don't know.
And you know
I
what?
don't know what it is.
I'll be honest with you. There was one video that I did do that I have notes. I have it. It's not uploaded. It's saved in my gallery. That I did kind of write notes because I kind of wanted to structure it a certain way. But after I watched it, after I recorded it, while I was recording it, I didn't like the feel of it. And then after I watched it, I didn't like the feel of it. So that's probably not going to get uploaded. I'm probably just going to redo it, but with the same, like I said, just with the same concept and just freestyle it, man. For some reason, I like to feel whenever I try to freestyle those videos, rather than trying to write notes down and go through with it that way. You know,
Yeah.
it just feels a lot more fluent and a lot more. I'm not gonna say original, but more heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? When you do it that way, at least for me, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, it's
yeah.
kind of been
I,
what's been working with me.
I agree with that part too. Yeah, it does. It feels like it's coming straight off the head, you know,
Yeah.
and it's real. You know what just popped in my head? This ADD
What's up?
shit just pops up.
I was muted.
We're giving a shout outs, and I wanted to give a shout out to the Heavy Wrench because
Heavy Wrench, yes, sir.
he's given us so much support, and I appreciate it. And I just wanted to give him a shout out. And he's got some really good shit coming out. I really love his repair videos. Like they're awesome. I haven't watched the latest one. I haven't got around to it. I've been really busy, but I got it in my queue to watch.
I started watching it while I was on lunch break. Then I had to go back out in the shop. So I just turned the volume down and just laid it down on my toolbox. That way he still got the watch time, you know.
Yeah, that's a good
But,
idea.
and then
He made a great comment in his last video. Every tool's a hammer.
Hey, just don't tell your tool dealer that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
not everything is warrantyable.
He didn't say that.
So I have a Matco 88 wrench. The I think it's like 24 inches flex head, locking
I
flex
traded
head.
mine off.
It's so beat up and so worn out that like occasionally the locking splines would slip and it would come out of the locking part. And it was on its last limb. And I was working on something like a week ago and I needed a hammer, but I couldn't move my position. And the closest thing was that ratchet. So I grabbed it and I went to use it as a hammer and it straight just sheared the teeth off.
Wow.
But it worked though. It got the job done. So
I don't know.
Well, that's
I was
important, man.
I was using a brand new Mac Precision Torque wrench, or one of the Precision Torque wrenches on the side of the interstate the other day, putting a brake chamber on. It became a hammer. I believe it was the 1 1/8. Worked pretty well.
Okay.
oh man, I gotta get myself some of those. Like as much as I don't need them. I have so much wrenches. Everybody's getting them, and everybody's talking so much hype on them that I gotta try them out.
You're not cool enough. You're not cool enough to join our Mac Tools Club, Ty. Okay.
What does that shirt say?
Hey,
Strap
hey,
on.
you know what? That's what they try to do at the shop too, man. Strap on.
Did I wear the
Every
wrong
time
one?
that truck comes in, that's what they yell, man. You know what? I'm like you guys know, right? Like a lot of some of the videos that I've done is been giving Snap-on a lot of praise or whatever. But I will say I do have a video. It's also recorded. It's not uploaded yet. I had recorded it because that was one of the concepts we had come up with for TTS, as far as talking about the favorite wrenches. So that's the reason why it's not uploaded. But I will say this, and I guess it's a spoiler alert for whenever I do upload my video, or we all decide to do that collaboratively. But those Precision Torque wrenches have been the best wrenches I've ever used. They have been the best wrenches I've ever used. They beat Snap-on, man. That little angle that they have, and just the feel of that wrench in your hand,
Yep.
it feels so comfortable, man. You know what I'm saying? You could actually like press down on it and not really feel like it's digging into your hand or anything like that.
Yeah, rub it in. Just keep rubbing it in.
Hey, hold on. Antonio just joined an elite group, an elite group of tool YouTubers. It feels great in the
Right?
hand.
It's so warm and fuzzy over here, Tyler.
Hey, you know what? It's not snowing here, so kiss my ass, all right?
It ain't snowing here.
I got
either.
OT though.
That's true.
But I would also say that I don't have a lot of Mac tools. That's only I think the only Mac tools that I actually own is going to be those precision torque wrenches and some bits, some drill bits. That's about it. I don't know anything else from Mac.
At our shop right now, we don't have any Mac dealer. We don't have any Mac Co. We don't have Cornwall. We just have Snap-on. And I just got a text message from my coworker yesterday saying, "Hey, he's like, hey, I talked to a new Mac dealer in our area. He's supposed to stop by." So as much as I'm excited about that, I'm worried because I owe Snap-on some money right now, and I don't want to get in any more debt. So I don't want to. I'm tempted by you guys' persuasions here about.
It'll all work out in 10 weeks.
I wish that would have came a little bit sooner because I don't know if
said.
it's the same thing in each region. But Mac just actually, but Mac just had the promotion for the precision torque wrenches, man, which is like you get the whole bundle for I think it's like 400 or 350, something like that, right?
What is the big
429.
32?
What's up?
32 millimeters, the biggest in the set.
Yeah. It runs from 8 to 32.
Damn.
No, 6 to 32.
What about SAE? Do they have SAE on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have SAE as well.
Tyler,
or
you're my cousin. You're supposed to pay attention to my Instagram. I posted a picture of them. I got both sets.
Dude, like honestly, since the new
Family feud here.
Since the new year, I've been so out of the whole social media thing because I've been working so much that
Hold
like
me back,
I just
Uncle Dave.
quickly
Hold me
just
back. I'm gonna get him.
quickly like things, but I don't sometimes pay 100% attention to them.
No, I got the SAE that runs from like 5/16 up to 1.25 inch, and then the metrics that are 6 through 32. I think they go to
6 millimeter to 32.
Yeah, there's some
millimeter
skips.
32.
There's a couple skips.
After I think 24, it's all the way. It's complete set up to like 24, and then it skips around a little bit up to 32.
Yeah,
but like it skips
from,
like a 31 and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It goes like from 30 to 32. I think it takes out 25, right? It goes from 24 to 26.
Yeah,
and then 28, 30, and 32. I believe. I think that's how it goes.
That sounds good enough. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see me right now?
What are you on, Tyler?
I'm going on Mac Cool's website right here.
Can you guys see me?
Precision torque wrenches. What? You type in precision torque wrenches and it comes up with torque wrenches.
Yeah, I know. I feel so weird every time I say something about them.
Well, just put a precision wrench. See what that does.
Let's try that. Precision wrench. I spelled wrench wrong. How the hell did I do that?
The Cali education.
Yeah, it is, huh? Here's a little tip for you guys. I did repeat senior year, so I got 5 years of high school.
Sweet.
I'm special.
That's why you like buses so much, huh?
Where's your helmet?
I left it in the bus. Dude, now we're really not getting monetized for this shit now. Precision wrenches. Wow, they make this really hard to look up. I'll look it up later. But
I'll just send you a picture of my set all nice and laid out in my tool drawer. You know,
it just takes up a small portion of your big ass freaking cart.
I mean,
Dude, I want that cart, honestly. Like that or the Maximizer.
Maximizer's cool, but you know, it'd probably be like breakfast for the Cornwall cart.
Is it bigger?
The Maximizer, I think the Maximizer's deeper, but my box I think is taller and a little bit wider. I don't know. You'll have to check out CP's channel for that.
Yeah, I remember watching it a while back, but I already forgot like what
Yeah.
the dimensions were.
I mean, he's got two of them. He's got the Maximizer card and the Cornwall card. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So, what do you have planned for the channel? I mean, like I said, I'm not always up to date on the chat or anything like that. But you guys know what we have planned for the maybe our next video or something.
we have this planned.
Yeah.
We're
Barely planned.
I still think that we could go back and kind of go over that original, like our preferences on wrenches. That way,
yeah.
all of you guys have the precision torque wrenches, and I have something different. You know?
Well, there has been like 50.
You're still recording
different-
this?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're still recording this?
Yeah.
There.
I'm about to
There-
cut it off right now. We're going to cut it off.
Wait, why are you cutting it off? We haven't done our outro.
No, I know, not yet, but
Oh, you said you're about to cut it off.
I literally mean it.
Well, Ty, your sarcasm does not come across on camera. Okay.
I thought you loved sarcasm.
I do love sarcasm. I'm fluent. If you didn't know.
Are you saying that you don't have thick skin?
What does me speaking sarcasm have to do with my skin? I moisturize every day.
I bet you
I
do.
bet you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Your poor
You
wife.
walked right into that one.
she's giving me the side eye right now.
How does
It's
that
okay.
work?
Oh,
How does that lubrication work on silk sheets?
no. See, I don't work for the state, so I don't get stuff like that. I just got cotton.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well, hold on. Cotton's not bad. What's the thread count?
I don't know. I can't count that high.
It's
Me
that English that 1,000 count.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know. It's a king size
That
bed.
fine
There's
linen?
a lot of them.
King size bed, huh?
King size, huh?
Tyler, you
Is
already
that
knew
kind
that.
What? whoa.
You know what? I was this close to throwing something really harsh down right now. I withheld. I have some limits, okay?
I don't know. I feel like that's a good end to the what to expect section of the talk.
Expect the level of humor to get crude as time goes by.
Sometimes dark. Sometimes it's dark.
Yeah, Dave. Me and
Very
Dave
dark.
have had some pretty good conversations.
Wrong conversations.
Yeah.
Deep, meaningful, dark conversations.
Yeah.
Meaningful? Dark, yes.
Hey, we choose to leave our emotions out of this, right?
Yeah.
There was no spooning, so.
It's the long distance relationship.
Yeah. Oh man.
So yeah, we don't really know exactly what we have next for TTS, but
We have
also-
a lot of ideas.
we have another group coming up next, so we'll kind of let them give more information on that.
Already.
So yeah. Anything anybody want to add?
No,
I
guess
we
we
pretty
can-
well covered it.
We could let a lot of people
Yeah.
in the comments, give their 2 cents on it and things that we didn't explain. Because I know there's a lot of stuff that we didn't explain, and I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
gives option for people to comment in and let them give their 2 cents on it.
And then it gives us an opportunity to come back for a second video, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But also, don't forget if you have a question for any one of us, go visit our
Yeah.
page and ask us.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
the Instagram, YouTube, whatever.
we'll try to help,
Yep.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
or for a laugh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to laugh at me, that's cool. Just make sure you share the video with your friend so that they watch it too. Well, they can laugh at me too. Okay.
Well, your head is photoshopped on something, but I'm saving that for Christmas.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Kentucky's gonna go viral, man, and not for the right reasons.
I hate that terminology. Going viral.
Viral.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a virus or something.
It sounds like some sort of particularly transmitted infection.
You're
That's
infectious.
funny.
Yeah, thanks, Todd.
But yeah, I guess what you guys think about maybe what we can expect from each channel? Like us four here that are talking right now. If you guys want to give maybe
I've got a lot of stuff planned, but it's just as far as getting the time and the motivation to get it rolling. I do got a video that I'm kind of working on piece by piece. This is embarrassing to say, but that Makita ratchet that I promoted so much that I love, it actually broke. So I'm kind of working on a video of the warranty process for it and how that's actually going to go. So
quack 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 quack.
yeah. But yeah, so that's what I got in the works.
Mine works good.
Already.
I've been doing the Ulsa Tools glove video for some time, but like a lot of the stuff that I have on video has a lot of work stuff in it, and I can't post it. So I'm kind of trying to redo it piece by piece.
You know, an idea that I saw too is I forgot who posted that video, man, but somebody was talking about kind of like what went on throughout the whole week. I don't know if you could kind of do something like that, like you guys who can't post videos at work. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to post videos from work or not, but I mean, until they tell me something or find out, I mean, I'll keep doing it, right? But
I have an idea for a series sort of like that. I don't want to talk about it too much, just because
yeah,
I'm planning it. I'm gonna do it. It's just I'm at the mercy of what comes through the shop.
yeah.
But I kind of want to do like a little diagnostic thing. Like, it's one of the reasons I bought my whiteboard, where I could draw pictures.
Oh, so I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that repair video that I did that I was influenced by the heavy wrench. And I'm like, I want to try a repair video. I want to do that. So I did a front main seal on a Cummins, and you noticed that I never posted it, and I said I was going to post it. That's because the seal came back leaking the next day. So. So I'm like, I can't. Like, my coworkers are gonna give me so much shit for this if I post it.
Yeah.
I can't. But it's a good video. I thought it was good, dude. But
what was the cause of the failure?
Well,
Poor workmanship.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask any more information, but
I got to.
okay.
I gotta know.
Let me redeem myself a little bit. Okay, so the first time it came back was because they gave me the wrong part.
Wait, the first time?
Yes. That's why I said I hope you weren't going to dig too much into this.
This just keeps getting better and better, man.
Okay, so originally it had a sleeve on the crank, right? And they told me, or they gave me the seal for one without a sleeve, right? So that came back, incorrect part, it leaked. I was like, okay, no problem, I'll do it again. The next time they give me a different part number, and I asked them, I asked parts department, and mind you, parts department has been out for COVID, so they haven't. I shouldn't say COVID; they've been out sick, because we don't know exactly. We don't know the whole deal. But anyways, they haven't been there, so it came back, or one of the guys handed it to me, and he's like, "Hey, this is the correct part number." Okay, cool. I'll do it again. So I did it again. It didn't feel right to me. It just slid right in. Yeah. I saw that. I saw his face light up. Okay. So it didn't feel right. And Cummins C series and Cummins L series, if you're familiar with them, where it's pressed into the timing gear cover, the seal, the outer portion of the seal.
Yeah.
It didn't feel snug. It was like slippery. I'm like, this is not going to work. But they're like, no, we need to get this bus out. That's the right part. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. And
You should
I was
add
like,
some anaerobics to it.
I thought about
Good old
that.
strawberry jelly.
I thought about that,
Yeah,
but
there
I was
you
in
go.
such a rush to get it out. And
It would have literally took you like 15 seconds to put anaerobic on it.
if we had it, we don't have that. That grape jelly shit.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
that stuff. I've used it before. We don't have any, and we don't have parts, so we couldn't just get something right there on the spot. So I ended up just like putting it in the best I could and sending it, and it lasted like maybe like 4 days, and then it came back with a small leak again. And I'm just like, and at that point, one of the day shift mechanics, he took care of it, and he's a higher level, higher experienced mechanic than me, and he fixed it up. So my learning experience out of that, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. And I should have used better discretion and said, you know what, I'm not going to let this thing out of the shop, but I did. So I don't feel comfortable posting that video, so I didn't go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to video at work at all.
But what if you what if you kind of like take notes as you're working, and then
That's
kind
kind
of do
of
a
what I'm
video
planning.
afterwards?
That's kind of what I'm
Okay.
planning.
Take that
Like-
whiteboard to work with you.
Well, I'm gonna take notes, and then whenever I film a video, what I'm wanting to do, because I'm wanting to do it on like the diagnostic side of things, and
Yeah.
like be able to draw and show kind of what I was looking at and stuff like that. Maybe it'll
That's
help
cool.
somebody.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm sure it will at
Well,
some point.
I'm hoping to kind of get some more video footage of or more footage of like diagnostics as well, or just some of the jobs that we do there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if how the codes actually could be considered, if they would be considered proprietary or not. So I don't know if I should be showing code numbers and their descriptions or not, but I would probably just at least start going with like I said, just some video footage of the actual repairs and components that were probably like replaced, troubleshooting steps. I think that'd be pretty cool. I have been talking to some of the techs there at work, so on my personal channel, you probably just have to be attentive to my channel for later content, but I'll probably have other techs on there as well, man. People who work with me, like I said, really good guys. One of
That'd be
the
cool.
Yeah, I think so. One of the other ideas that I have would be not really an idea, but what I would hope to have is having like I just spoke earlier about the two lead techs there at work. Have both of them on my channel, at least have a couple of videos that I could be able to knock out with them. I think that'd be interesting as well.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, I think so. I think so too. So
So, what can we expect from one mechanic? There should be a plier review coming up at some point. Yeah.
A what review?
Plier.
Oh, plier. I already did that review. Well, overview. Actually, I haven't really had a chance to use it yet that much.
Yeah, I know. That's what I hate about mine. I don't get to use them very much.
Yeah. I bought some expert wobble extensions. They're not like wobble like the snap-on wobbles or also wobbles. They're actually like a fixed wobble in on it. I'm about to drop a video with that review in it. And I'm currently talking to a local school that does basic truck training.
That'd be cool.
It's a great platform. I think it's a great idea. You get into it. You're not bankrupt. It's the perfect. It would bring a new person into a shop doing basic stuff, basic diagnostic, basic brakes, basic maintenance. This school gets them in the door and gets them started on a career. And I got a planned interview with I guess he's the manager of the local branch here, and we're just waiting for a good time to do it. But I hope to bring that out to let guys see that they don't need to spend crazy money at UTE or one of the other big schools. There
Lincoln
are other
Tech.
ways, right? Other ways to get into our industry. You can get into Kentucky Tech. That one's easy.
Yeah, they're
All you need is a whiteboard and a dry erase marker.
hey. This one even has the eraser in the cap.
Maybe a case
I'm
of sun
official.
drop.
Oh, he went fancy. He went fancy, man.
Well, big money with that Walmart $3, huh?
I'm the talk of the town. No, that would be really cool, Dave.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that would, man. That would be amazing, man. I'd definitely be into watching that video.
Yeah, I hope it comes together pretty well. The guy wants to do it. He has his own business also. So we've had trouble, meeting up to do it. But either way, I'm going to try to somehow talk about it to let people know about it.
That'd be awesome.
Already. Yeah. Yep, definitely, man.
Well, hour and 40 minutes in. He's ready to end it here, and we'll possibly have a part 2 sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes, sir. I've already been coming up with some ideas for part 2, man. So
Nice.
definitely, everybody be on the lookout for that. For this is going on the TTS channel, correct?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
All right. And I guess if we can we put all of our links at the bottom?
Yeah,
So that way they
for sure.
can, and that way they can go over there and visit everybody else's channel and have fun, man. Hope you
Sounds
guys
great,
enjoyed
yeah.
this video.
Right on.
Sorry.
So yeah, we'll get everybody linked up on the description and links to their pages, our pages. That's pretty much all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember to look forward to the next group of TTS members doing the independent shop thing soon.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll see
Thank you,
y'all on the
guys.
next one.
We'll see you guys.
Ciao.
All right, man. Y'all keep
Yeah. There you go.
That's for you.
I was waiting for that. I was hoping
I know.
that made the day. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
already. God bless you, man.